So, should you make the bow drilling jig or buy the spindle drilling guide? Well, hopefully in the next few minutes I'll give you enough information so that you can answer that question yourself. While working with Peter Galbert on the bow drilling jig, I had an idea, and that idea resulted in the spindle drilling guide. Now, while both of these tools are very accurate and easy to use, the spindle drilling guide does have a couple of extra capabilities. But of course, those capabilities come at a higher material cost. So with all that said, let's get into what differentiates both of these tools. All right, I see basically four differences between the bow drilling jig and the spindle drilling guide. First off, the spindle drilling guide consists of this aluminum extrusion that's rigid and allows this carriage to slide back and forth and will adjust to any height that you need. Whereas with the bow drilling jig, you will have to change out these guide rods as the height of your spindle increases or decreases in relation to the height of your bow or arm. Okay, next, the bow drilling jig only allows you to drill through spindle mortises from on top of the bow or arm. Your bow or arm fits in here and you can only drill in this direction. Whereas with the spindle drilling guide, you can drill both from on top, so your arm or bow would be in here, or you can drill from underneath because there's enough room to fit your drill in here and drill from underneath, so you can do a blind mortise into a crest rail or even non-chair making activities, for instance case work, restoration work, doing stairs. So all of those types of operations, you can utilize this jig to drill blind mortises up into something. And the next difference is that the spindle drilling guide actually has a stop, so you can lock this carriage in place so this distance never changes. It's not moving back and forth. So that's helpful again in doing the, of course, the blind mortises, but it's also helpful to be able to lock this into place when you're moving from spindle mortise to spindle mortise. And finally, the last difference is price. This, of course, is a little bit more expensive than the drilling guide, but the drilling guide is basically planned, so you actually have to make this, whereas this comes already made for you. So the cost to actually make this is not bad. It's very, very reasonable, and that's one of the design goals of this particular jig. Whereas this one has a little bit more fit and finish and a little bit more capabilities. So I would compare this to like your basic work truck. It'll get the job done. It'll do everything that you need it to get done within reason. This is kind of like the truck with the off-roading package and the upscale trim level. So this has a little bit more creature comforts and has a little bit more capabilities, primarily, as we discussed, being able to do the blind mortises. Now, one of the things that you can also do is start with this jig, and if you run into a situation where you need the capabilities of this jig, you can upgrade to this jig. In fact, these drill bushings are the same size. So let's say you initially made this jig and you bought a 3/8 inch drill bushing. Well, when you buy this jig, you might want to buy this jig with an 11/32 drill bushing or a 5/16 drill bushing, so that you have that capability to switch these drill bushings out and have more range of mortise sizes. Well, I hope this video has given you enough information to decide what's right for you, the bow drilling jig or the spindle drilling guide. I'm Kyle Barton of K Barton Tools, and thanks for watching.